Here with Charles Dobbs, we have a great property coming up for auction on April the 27th at 2 p.m. Located, how far south of Graham are we, Charles?
We're 9 miles.
9 miles south of Graham. I can feel Possum Kingdom Lake right there.
As the crow flies, we're 1 mile from the north end of PK Lake.
1 mile from Possum Kingdom Lake.
And 5 miles if you drive to the first boat ramp.
And we're right out here on Highway 16, paved access all the way. Great property. Wanted to spend some time with Charles today and tell us about the property, tell us about the house. And Charles and his wife Connie built this property in 2008, is that correct?
2009.
I was close.
Yeah, 2009 is when we poured the slab.
Okay, let's talk about kind of from the foundation up, because this is not your typical log house that we might see in North and Central Texas. It's the real deal. It's not a kit, it's a custom-made log home. Tell us about the logs and kind of the history of what makes this property.
There's regular pine, and then there's Douglas fir. Douglas fir being the most expensive and the strongest. It's what most people use to, if they're building a log home, some of the heavy structural part of a log home will be Douglas fir. We had to have a slab to hold that kind of weight. A normal slab is 4.5 inches on a home.
Okay.
And when we done the slab on this home, we started at the front porch, and we started with 6 inches. And as we got to the first beam of the house, we started with 1 foot and went all the way to the back to where we ended up with 3 feet of concrete.
Holy smokes. Solid concrete.
Solid concrete.
Wow.
Most houses have 18-inch, the steel is set in 18-inch squares. We set our steel in 12-inch squares. He erected the home in British Columbia. They have to put it together. They cut every log to length. They hand scribe every log to fit.
Wow.
So, in other words, when they hand scribe them to fit each other, where you can't shove a piece of paper between them. I mean, they fit like a glove.
And these are thick logs. These are like, what did you say,
They're
22?
They average 20 inch. Some of them are 22 to 24 inch logs.
Holy smokes.
So after doing that, once they erect them, they take them apart and number them, and they stack them on trucks. I wanted a house that would withstand the 90 mile an hour straight wind. So in order to do that, the roof had to be the same.
Wow.
So on the roof, on a regular house, I don't care if it's a $2 million home, they're all framed out of 2x6s or 2x8s. Our house, we had to lay 2x10s up on the roof.
Wow.
All the rafters are 2x10s, and instead of being shot with a nail gun, they were all screwed with 2x10 hangers. Every one of them. It took over 500 2x10 hangers to screw those to the logs.
Holy smokes.
And we done that because where I'm going with this, so the roof couldn't be lifted from the logs.
Wow.
Then I put titanium wrap on the top of my roof, which is very expensive. But titanium wrap will not melt and will not conduct heat.
Really?
Right. So on top of that, we didn't put just any metal roof. We put a what they call a quality 4 metal roof. It's 24 gauge. Most metal roofs on every residential home you see is 26 gauge. 24 gauge is what they use like on most of the McDonald's.
Wow.
And on the edges, they cut and hand tucked all the edges so no wind can get under those.
Wow.
We done this to prevent wind getting under the roof. And that is a 30-year roof. and it's 9 years old. I wanted to do something special, and a friend of mine in Marble Falls has a cedar mill, and he uses eastern cedar, not western cedar. Westerns, there's a difference. Western cedar comes from the West Coast that you can go buy at Home Depot, anywhere. It's a rough cedar and it's soft. Eastern cedar that's cut it gets hard as oak. So I wanted all the trim in the house to be eastern cedar, and he also hand makes doors.
Wow.
There's 26 doors in this house. So he handmade all of my doors, and he just cut me boards. I cut and made every piece of trim in this house and installed every piece of trim in this house. All the big windows are trimmed out of this cedar, and every closet in the house, walls, ceiling, and floor is made out of this cedar. This tile was shipped from Italy, and it's because I wanted something. We searched for months. It was the last thing put in here because I wanted something to go with cedar and pine.
And it fits perfectly with this house.
This is called African Sunset, and when I seen it, I told the guy I had to have it, but when I found out the price of it, I didn't want it. Got in touch with a woman in Kentucky, done some research. She had a company that tore down old warehouses, and they took the beams out of those warehouses, which was pine, and they made wood flooring. That beam she took out of there was 100 years old, and this is heart pine. The floor I got, it's 100 years old and looks brand new. The fireplace, I brought a rock guy in from Marble Falls. There's 8 tons of rock in that fireplace.
Wow.
We didn't have an architect. We didn't have a designer. It was me and him with a piece of chalk, deciding what we was going to do, and that's what we came up with.
And the TV stays with the house.
The TV stays with the house. And these guys that we found that built this log furniture are from Kerrville, Texas, and they're twin brothers. And the furniture is immaculate. It also stays with the log home, which is very expensive, but it stays.
And it's not. I don't know what you paid for it, but I can feel it and move it. Move that chair over there. It's all there. It's heavy duty.
Those end tables weigh about 75 pounds.
Wow.
That dresser in there, it takes 4 people to move that dresser and about 4 people to move that bed.
And the unique trademark of the brothers that made it is the way the top is with the
the backs of the chairs
and the beds
the bed's the same way. The rocking chair, everything they make, they have a unique place. What sold me on the dresser, we went down there, he's got all these chest of drawers sitting around. You can pull one drawer out of one and just stick it in a 2 drawer or a 6 drawer or whatever.
All the drawers fit everywhere. Wow.
They fit like a glove.
Wow.
That's how precise they are on their stuff.
You went all over the country and found it right here in Texas.
I found it right here in Texas.
When you walk in the house and you see this beautiful wall of windows, that seems like it might be the weak point in one of these Texas storms when the wind starts blowing and things start flying.
Yeah, and I thought about that. So I had all the windows custom made and had them tempered, just like the windshield in your car. So if they did get blown out, they wouldn't shatter, they'd all stay together.
Oh, wow.
So
that probably wasn't cheap, was it?
No, it was not cheap. That's all cypress underneath the house, all the way around the house.
Really?
Under all the porches and all the overhangs, that's all cypress.
Wow. So, as that beautiful wall of windows looks out over your swimming pool and an outdoor pavilion, of course, we talked about the barn a little earlier.
A little over 3 years ago, we decided it was just going to be a pool.
That's how all pools start out, just going to be a pool.
That's how everything starts out. Then I have this wild idea because I've got these 4 cedar, huge cedar logs. And I've got these cedar beams that go with them, or pine beams that go with these cedar logs. I said, you know, I need to build a pavilion. So I built a pavilion, a big pavilion. And of course, underneath it, I think it all needs a rock floor and all that
Certainly.
stuff to go with it. So I built this big pavilion, and in the one end of it, I built a big cabinet that has a 70-inch outdoor TV in it. And it's I can't think the brand name of it, but it's rated for 130 degree hot temperature to a minus 20 degree.
But I'm guessing if you went that far with it, it's got the drains and the plumbing and everything out there that somebody could just pretty much easily put in an outdoor kitchen, am I correct?
Yes, it'd be very simple to put in an outdoor kitchen. I built a barn over there, and in that barn I built an apartment. And that's where me and my wife live. And something else, we have a complete, there's a complete sprinkler system throughout the yard that wraps around the house, goes all the way around the pool. All the utilities are underground. All the electrical is put in conduit pipe.
Charles, this is a great property. I've walked it with you. You know every inch of the property. You and Connie did a great job of just dedicating your energy, your blood, sweat, tears, research, and obviously hard-earned dollars into making what is one of the most unique and almost, as far as I'm concerned, perfectly built properties in this part of the world. It's a great location. Possum Kingdom Lake, great. Make somebody a great retirement home, make a great family retreat, corporate retreat, with the Possum Kingdom Lake being right there. You guys have done an awesome job. We are so honored that your agent, Scooter Bateman with Texas Real Estate Showcase, has asked us to come in and help you guys market this property. Very unique property. We're looking forward to a great sale and seeing who is going to be the next owner of this beautiful property that's literally built to last for generations. And we thank you so much.
Thank you.